Hello, and welcome to Once Upon a Time in Black History. I am your host, Tamara Shiloh, author, educator, and owner of the Multicultural Bookstore in Richmond, California, and Las Vegas, Nevada. You can also find us on my website at onceuponatimeInBlackHistory.com. Our shows are sponsored by the Multicultural Bookstore, and if you're interested in becoming a sponsor, please send me an email at tamarashiloh@gmail.com. Alrighty then, let's get this party started.
This episode of Once Upon a Time in Black History is about Joseph Richard Winters and his ladders of success. The 19th century brought about changes in the architectural designs of many American cities. New materials were used, buildings began to reach skyscraper heights. The downside to these styles was not being able to safely rescue citizens in danger of a fire. At that time, firefighters still used horse-drawn engines to carry their ladders. The length could not be excessive, as this would prevent the engines from turning corners if access to a narrow street or alley was necessary. But with the taller buildings, residents could not be evacuated as fast or as safe. Joseph Winters thought it would be more effective to mount the ladder on the engine itself, and that it could be built in a way that it could be raised up in sections, foldable and collapsible.
As a result, he invented a wagon-mounted fire escape ladder for the city of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. His creation, which later received a patent in 1878, would save countless lives within the inner city. Joseph improved upon his design, receiving another patent in 1879. In 1882, he would patent the traditional fire escape, the model attached to the sides of buildings. Although he received much praise for creating life-saving equipment, little money was made. Soon after, Joseph took part in oil prospecting in the Chambersburg area. The venture proved unsuccessful. He would later dabble in politics, writing a campaign song for Democrat William Jennings Bryan during the 1896 presidential campaign. The fact that Joseph created the original design of the wagon-mounted ladder has been incorrectly reported. George Hutman and George Cornelio introduced the idea in 1849. Joseph's ladder was constructed of a metal frame and parallel steps. The original design was made of wood. It was 29 years later, after Hutman and Cornelio's ladder, that Joseph's own received a patent. Joseph was raised by his grandmother in Waterford, Virginia, during a time when many Black families were free and the Quakers were abolitionists. He worked as a farmer and later as a mechanic for the Cumberland Valley Railroad. He was also a fisherman and a hunter. While working at Harper's Ferry sanding brick molds, Joseph's family decided to move to Chambersburg. There, he was active in the Underground Railroad, helping enslaved people escape to freedom. He wrote in his autobiography, 10 days after the Battle of Gettysburg, that he arranged the meeting between Frederick Douglass and John Brown at the quarry in Chambersburg before the historic Harper's Ferry raid. Douglass, however, wrote a different account of the events. His biography credits a local barber, Henry Watson. No copies of Joseph's autobiography have survived. In 2005, a historic marker was placed at the Junior Hose and Truck Company No. 2 in Chambersburg. It notes that Joseph's patents for the fire escape ladder and hose conductor, as well as his involvement with the Underground Railroad. Joseph's marital and parental status remain a mystery to researchers. He died sometime in 1916 near Chambersburg, and he's buried in the local Mount Lebanon Cemetery. Now imagine that.
Thank you for tuning in to Once Upon a Time in Black History. For more information on this topic and others, visit the Multicultural Bookstore at multiculturalbookstore.com. And again, if you want to advertise in our podcast for a mere $25, please contact me at tamarshiloh@gmail.com. See you next time.